Sometimes there's a paradox in terms of what we want versus the energy that we're actually putting out. And this particular subject is something that I think a lot of people can relate to because we all want to be seen and be heard and understood. But the question really is, do you really want to be seen and heard and understood? Because it's something that we might crave. It's something that we really might want. But then what is it within you that is preventing other people from seeing you or from hearing you or from really knowing and understanding you? And oftentimes that can be something that is really insidious to sort of try to uncover, because those are the places in which we hide. Those are the places that we hide those parts of ourselves that we don't want other people to see. And for other people, whether it's in a relationship or a family member or a friendship, in order for there to be that beautiful, intimate relationship where you are able to be vulnerable with the other person, you're able to allow that person to see you, you have to be comfortable with the idea of that person seeing all of you. Now, yesterday I had a session with a client, which was really, really beautiful because we went through this sort of exercise to really start to identify how much you are hiding, how much you are really willing to be seen and be heard. And I'm going to go through this exercise right now, actually, with myself. So I haven't tried this exercise with myself yet. And so this is going to be really interesting to see what sort of comes out within this meditation. So I'll get to sort of see in real time with all of you those places in which I am hiding. Okay? So if you'd like to do this along with me, I recommend that you find a really comfortable spot where you can sit down, whatever is most comfortable for you. Someplace where you can have your feet on the ground. And I would like you to first start off, and this is how I always start off all of my meditations because grounding is super, super important. I want you to imagine those beautiful, beautiful cords of light coming from the soles of your feet and diving all the way down into the center of the earth. And then allowing that divine Gaia energy to travel up those cords until it reaches the soles of your feet, keeping you nice and anchored to the earth plane while we go deep into our meditation. So I'd like you to start off with 3 deep breaths. So inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. So inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. One more time. Inhale and exhale. So right now I'm imagining that I have my beautiful bubble of divine light protection surrounding me. Right now my bubble has this sort of pink smoke all around it. So this is that magic pixie dust, if you will. This is the magic. This is the beautiful energy that I have surrounding me, this creation energy. And my bubble right now isn't fully opaque, or it doesn't have that mirror surface on the exterior because I'm currently in my home, so I don't necessarily need to do that. It's a very open bubble. It is transparent. And for the sake of this exercise, I'm going to imagine that there is a zipper on the outside of this beautiful bubble that I have surrounding me. almost like a tent. So if you imagine, if you've ever gone camping, just sort of that zipper that is able to be opened from the outside and from the inside. And I would like you to imagine a figure on the other side of this bubble. So this person could be anyone. It could be a parent, it could be your significant other, and it could even be, and this is what I'm going to do, this could be a potential future romantic interest, significant other, future husband, wife, whatever it happens to be. So this is where I'm going to explore, simply because what I want to do is I want to be able to see how open I am right now to be able to allow somebody else to see me and to experience me and all of me, right? And that's going to give me sort of an idea of what type of energy I am sort of putting out in terms of whether I want to be approached, whether I want somebody to come into my energetic field, whether I'm telling the universe, yes, I want to be in a relationship, right? Because oftentimes we say, yes, I want to be in a relationship. Yes, I want to have a beautiful connection with this person. Or yes, I want my relationship to improve, my marriage to improve, whatever it happens to be. But those are words. Energetically, you need to check in to see if that is actually in fact true. So I want you to identify the relationship that you want to work with right now, that we're going to work on together. And so right now I'm imagining this person on the exterior of my bubble, and I'm imagining this person as an outline of light. So it is a male figure that is outlined in light. So I'm not putting a face to it. I'm not putting a person to it. And for me personally, it's simply because I'm working with an unknown here. I'm working with an unknown of who this potential partner might be. Okay. So for you, if you have somebody specific in mind that you are working with, then please imagine that person on the other side of your bubble. And I want you to take a deep breath and imagine that everything that you are, shadows and all, everything that you are is being represented right now. Okay? And I want you to imagine that the person on the other side of the bubble is opening that zipper. And this person is going to step inside your bubble with you, turn around, and close the zipper behind them. So right now I'm imagining this person opening the zipper. And the feeling that I'm getting is a little bit of like stomach flipping. So I'm getting a little bit of nervousness, a little bit of butterflies almost. It's not entirely bad. I'm not feeling a lot of resistance, just sort of almost this anticipation of the unknown. And so as this person comes into my bubble and he turns around and zips the bubble up behind him, I am feeling a little bit of anxiety, a tiny bit, not a whole lot, but just a tiny bit. Because what he is seeing right now is every single part of my energy, every single part of me. And I'm feeling like that energy of mine is super big and bright. It's really big. It's like taking up the entire bubble, almost overwhelming him. But he is not overwhelmed. It's not that this figure, this energetic representation of a person, it's not like this person is overwhelmed. This person is very calm in the bubble. So I'm going to pull in my energy field a little bit more so it's not so big, so it's not like filling up the entire bubble. I feel like that's almost a misdirection or a distraction to sort of prevent him from truly seeing the subtleties of me. So I'm feeling the need to right now, like, move. So if I'm standing here before this person, the feeling that I'm getting is the feeling of needing to move or to fidget, to kind of, I don't know, like, I don't know, just sort of not necessarily escape, but like I feel very exposed. Okay. And so now I'm going to imagine that he is able to see the shadows of me, the shadow parts of me, the parts of me that I don't particularly like. And how do I feel about this energetic person accepting those parts of me? And I feel pretty open about that. I feel pretty safe allowing that person to accept those parts of me. Okay. So overall, I'm going to pause here because overall, I feel pretty open to the idea of somebody really seeing me for who I am, for really being able to understand me and understand my energy. Now, if you're doing this exercise at home with me and you haven't gotten past the person actually opening your bubble, let's say. So let's say the person was starting to open the zipper of the bubble and you're like, nope, 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 that's not happening. You know? So that's going to give you a little clue as to how much resistance you are having at this moment. So make note in your body how you're feeling at each step of the way. So maybe some of you haven't even been able to get this person into your bubble. Maybe them being in your bubble is just too much. So maybe you need them to stand outside of your bubble, maybe open the zipper and sort of peer in and not actually fully be in the bubble with you. Okay? At various stages throughout this meditation, as you're sort of playing with this idea of this person being in your energetic field and being able to really see you and being able to really understand your energy and understand who you are, it's sometimes easier when you're sort of imagining it as energy, right? So in this first scenario, I'm imagining myself as this energetic being, and I'm imagining the other person as an energetic being. So in my mind's eye, in my scenario that I have in this meditation, I don't really have a lot of features going on. There's not a lot of humanness to this meditation at this moment. So for me, that feels pretty comfortable. Okay. So the second part of this experience is then to start to bring a little bit more of this humanness to your visualization. So maybe in your bubble, you are now the human version of yourself, flaws and all, with all of your history of this lifetime, with all of your baggage, with all of your sadness, your grief, your happiness, your accomplishments, everything that you are. And the person on the other side of the bubble is also human, has human features. You can imagine that person as someone specific if you'd like. And I want you to make note of the differences in how you're feeling about doing this exercise with it being an actual person versus an energy. And so I would like you to imagine that this person who is standing outside your bubble is now unzipping the bubble from the outside. and is stepping inside the bubble. Okay. So instantly, when I started imagining this as a person, the resistance started coming up and it started becoming a little bit more strong. So I felt a little bit more anxiety. I felt a little bit more resistance to this person being in my bubble. And in fact, the words that came to me were like, get out. So I kind of wanted this person to get out of my bubble. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to explore that a little bit. So I'm going to actually sort of have a little conversation with that version of myself right now and ask her what it is that she is having this reaction to. And I'm hearing he doesn't deserve to be in this bubble with me. Okay. Okay, so why doesn't he deserve to be in this bubble with you? He hasn't earned the right to be here. Okay. So why hasn't he earned the right to be here? Because ultimately, when it comes to love, when it comes to relationships, there is an ability to allow love to simply flow. In other words, the other person doesn't really have to do anything in order to deserve that reciprocal love. Okay, but I'm hearing from that version of myself, yes, but he needs to be able to express the love that he has for me. And he hasn't done that. Okay. So it sounds to me like right now what's going on in my own energy field and what's going on with me physically as I'm feeling this resistance is that I still have some conditions surrounding allowing somebody into my energetic field in terms of a romantic connection. And this condition is, well, he has to say it first. He has to tell me that he loves me first. He has to show up first and tell me that he wants me in his life. He needs to whatever the next thing is, it's like now they're showing me it's almost like an obstacle course. It's like he has to go through all these hoops before he can get to be able to be inside the bubble. Okay, so all right, so what is it that we can do in order to allow this person to come inside the bubble without having to go through that? Just allow the love to come through in whatever form it's going to come. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so just the very fact that this person wants to come into my bubble and wants to experience me as a person is enough. It's enough for him to be able to step forward and be in the bubble. Because if he didn't want to be there, he wouldn't even be on the outside of the bubble wanting to come in, right? So if I'm imagining this person coming into the bubble, wanting to see and understand and hear me, all he has to do is to simply be present. Yeah, that feels so much better. That feels a lot better for a lot of that condition to sort of fall away. And now I can allow this person to be in my space, in my bubble. And actually, we're embracing right now. We're giving each other a hug. And he's saying to me that he sees me and he loves me. And I say thank you. Because right now, the goal of this exercise isn't for that reciprocal love. It is simply to allow somebody to experience you, to see you, to hear you, to understand you. So now you might be having a different experience at this moment. When you had the person who was outside the bubble turn into a human, turn into a person that you would like to do this work with, There may have been resistance. You may not have let them in the bubble. There may have been all kinds of things that have popped up. So I want you to take a moment right now, if you need to, pause the video and just go within and sort of explore what this feels like for this person to either come into the bubble or maybe stay on the outside of the bubble. What are your feelings? What are your reactions? What are your triggers? And then I want you to explore that a little bit further to see where that might be coming from. Okay, so then if you're feeling a lot of resistance and you don't want this person to come into your bubble, that's totally okay. You don't need to get there right now in this moment. What you can do is you can go back to the first part of this meditation, which is imagining them as a light body, right? It's imagining them as not necessarily a full-fledged human. And then see if that feels a little bit better. And then when you do that, use that as a tool over and over again, maybe for the next few days, to see if that gets easier and easier. And do that exploration, and then try doing the exercise with the actual human again and see if that gets easier, if there's less resistance, if you have less reaction. So when you're ready, I want you to come back into the present moment. Okay, beautiful. So this is an exercise that you can do at any time when you feel like you're being open to something, but maybe you're really not. So how many times have you really said, "Oh, I'm open to that," or I'm okay with doing that, but then it's not happening, or you find yourself in resistance in places. So what we feel like we are open to, or what we think we are open to, we really may not be open to that experience. So I hope this was helpful for you. If you would like to give me feedback as to what you saw, what you experienced, I would love to hear your experiences. Put them down in the comments, and I will give you a follow-up to see how things are going. All right? Have an amazing week, and I will speak to you all later. I want to thank you for joining me today, and I look forward to walking this journey with you and pointing the way on your spiritual journey. If you are interested in learning more about me and the sessions that I do, feel free to go to my website at infinitesoullove.com. On all social media, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at Infinite Soul Love 1111.